Okay, let's take a look at number 5. Okay, on number 5, we see something just a little bit different. We have a fraction for our slope. Okay, and I'm actually going to change that fraction just a tiny little bit. So instead of y equals 1/2 x plus 3, I'm going to make that y equals 1/4 x plus 3. Okay, no particular reason, just because I wrote the question and I'm deciding to edit it. Now, that number that's multiplying x, that fraction, by the way, that is our slope, that's m. When the slope is a fraction, that can cause some minor problems for us, minor problems, but they're easily avoided. When we have a fraction for our slope, okay, we're still going to make an xy chart. I still like to pick 0 for the first x, but then I want to pick good x's for my other 2 points. Now, if we just use 2 and -2, like we did on the previous ones, I'm probably going to end up with some fractions that I really don't want to have to deal with when graphing. So the trick that I can use is to use multiples of the denominator for x. Okay, if I pick multiples of the denominator, that's going to totally get rid of that fraction for me. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start off the same way we did on the previous ones. We're going to make the xy chart. We're going to use 0, but I'm also going to use multiples of this denominator. So since my fraction is 1/4, the denominator is 4. So I'll use 4 and -4. Okay, now we're going to take each of those numbers and sub them in place of x. So we'll have y equals 1/4 times 0 plus 3. 1/4 times 0 is 0. And 0 plus 3 is 3. So when x is 0, y is 3. Okay, then we're going to do the same thing with 4. So y equals 1/4 times 4 plus 3. Now, in order to multiply a fraction times an integer, we put the integer over 1, excuse me, and then we multiply straight across. So 1 times 4 is 4, 4 times 1 is 4, and bring down the plus 3. Well, 4 over 4 can reduce to just 1. So we have 1 plus 3, which is 4. So when x is 4, y is also 4. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing, but with -4. So y equals 1/4 times -4 plus 3. Well, we're going to use the same tricks. Put the -4 over 1 and multiply straight across. 1 times -4 is -4. 4 times 1 is 4. Bring down the plus 3. Now 4 over 4 was 1, so -4 over 4 is going to be -1. And -1 plus 3 gives us 2. So when our x is -4, our y is 2. So now we'll take those points and we'll put them on the graph. So 0, 3, 4, 4, and -4, 2. Okay, we take a step back and look. Those points make a nice straight line. So we'll draw the straightest line we can through those points. And there we go. All right. Now, we do the same thing that we did on the previous ones. We make an xy chart with 3 x values. We like to pick 0, but we also like to pick multiples of the denominator if our slope is a fraction. We saw what happened right here and right here. The fraction totally canceled, and we ended up with all integers, which is what we want.